What's going on, guys? JSGC here, and we are here for another Manchester City video. I get asked a lot in my live streams, can Manchester City win the Champions League this season? And rather than keep answering that question on my live stream, I thought, why not do a video and have a good look at the Champions League and what it would take for Manchester City to go on and lift the biggest prize of them all. So I'm going to have a look at that in this video. So make sure, like always, if you are enjoying the content and you want to help support my channel, then subscribe, press that red button, press the bell and put your push notifications on. Social media links, they're in the description below and sliding across at the bottom of the screen if you want to go and follow me on my Twitter and Instagram. Email also in the description below if you want to hit me up for any sponsorships for any videos or any general business inquiries. Leave a thumbs up if you enjoy this video, aiming for 300 likes, so any help towards that would be much appreciated. And don't forget also, as I'm always interested in what you do have to say, leave your thoughts in the comments below. So let's crack on with this video. And I think what an opportunity it is for Manchester City to win the Champions League this season. We are 3 wins, 3 away from the biggest prize of them all. In the last round, we have conquered the Galacticos, the La Liga champions, the 13 times Champions League winners. Arguably the biggest club in the world, Real Madrid. We beat them 2-1 at the Bernabeu. We took them back to the Etihad months later, and we beat them 2-1 again to win the tie. To me, we have knocked out one of the favourites for the competition, and because we have done that, it's done 2 things. Number 1, it makes Manchester City one of, not the, but one of the favourites for the competition, and number 2, psychologically in the head. We've gone out against Tottenham Hotspur last season. The season before, we've gone out against Liverpool, and people were starting to speak about Manchester City potentially not having the mental strength or bottle to be able to win the Champions League. Well, we've just knocked out the most successful team in the world. We've just knocked out the La Liga champions. So that mental hurdle now has been knocked down, and we can use that as confidence to hopefully go as far as we can in this competition. Now, as I will say, the rest of this competition is going to be played in Portugal. It's going to be played in Lisbon. The 2 stadiums are going to be at Sporting Lisbon's ground and at Benfica's ground, where the 2 locations are for the rest of this tournament. It's going to be 1 leg. And I'm going to say this several times in the video. Over 1 leg, anything can happen, and in my opinion, I think 1 leg suits Manchester City. One thing we've always struggled with is that 2-legged knocking out great teams. Mental hurdle with Real Madrid now, it's been done, we've done that. We've knocked out a big team in Real Madrid, so going forward in future competitions, obviously now it shouldn't be an issue, but we can use that as confidence for this year to go all the way. And what I mean by 1 leg, anything can happen, just have a look at last night. The Europa League, Manchester United were facing an SC Copenhagen side that everyone expected Manchester United to go through, and to go through relatively comfortably. Copenhagen were very stubborn. They took it to 0-0. Squeaky bum time when it gets to 0-0 and it gets into extra time, because anything can happen. And United needed a penalty to be able to go through, because trust me, if they didn't get that penalty, I reckon that would have gone 2 penalties, but then you're at a lottery. Anything can happen. Nearly the perfect game there from Copenhagen. I'm fairly sure they wanted to take Manchester United to penalties to try and knock them out on the luxury of the penalty spot kick. So, like I said, Manchester United nearly became a sucker to that 1 leg yesterday. And that's what I mean by anything can happen. But that's the Europa League. This is the Champions League. We're looking at quality teams. No disrespect to FC Copenhagen. I think they're a decent side. They worked really hard. But we're at the creme de la creme. We're at the best now in Europe. We're dealing with the best teams. We're like I said, we've just knocked out the La Liga champions. Lyon have just knocked out the Serie A champions. We're talking the champions of domestic divisions that we're going up against. We're going up against quality teams that have all had domestic success and European success. It's just so difficult now. We're going up against the best in Europe. And so no match is an easy match when it gets to the latter stages of the Champions League. And so City, we're going to be facing Lyon. They conquered the Serie A champions Juventus. That crucial away goal is what did Juventus there. They did not score an away goal, and because of that, As soon as Lyon scored, they were always chasing that game. They needed 3 goals. Lyon scored first, always going to put Juventus under pressure. Didn't have enough to get over the line. Quality team that's been knocked out. Sarri's been sacked because of it. They replaced him with Pirlo. Obviously, Ronaldo's now exited the competition at the last 16. He looked pretty devastated. Other quality players, Dybala, for example, out the competition. We don't have to worry about them. We don't have to think about them now. All we've got to think about is Lyon. And that match against Lyon is going to be a very, very difficult match. So, looking at Lyon, pace up top, Memphis Depay. Don't start thinking about his time at Manchester United. Start thinking about what he can do for Lyon and how good he was when Man City were playing Lyon back in 2018. Same with Houssem Aouar as well. Got some very dynamic, hard-working players that will look to press Manchester City deep and then will look to hurt us very quickly on the counter-attack. It worked very successfully for them back in 2018. They beat us at the Etihad Stadium. Mikel Arteta was in charge that night because Pep Guardiola was up in the stands serving a suspension, and then we failed to beat them in France, in Lyon, and it took Manchester City to be clinical to make sure that we did not lose that game. We drew 2-2 if my memory serves me right. And so it's going to be a really difficult game, and Manchester City need to make sure that defensively we are sound. We're tracking our runners. We're making sure we're not getting hurt on the counter-attack. It's going to be very difficult. Obviously, City lack a little bit of pace. It's one of those where we could really do with Nathan Ake right now, but he can't play until next season, unfortunately. And so we're just going to have to be very careful. And the way I see it with Manchester City, go with extra legs in the midfield, so almost certain that Phil Foden will probably start again in this match, considering how much he ran against Real Madrid and pressed them. Look to press the Lyon deep in their own half, try and force the mistakes. Most importantly, though, City will create opportunities, so will Lyon. And it's the same with every single game. Be clinical. If we're clinical, we can go through. I'm confident that if we turn up and play like we did against Real Madrid over them 2 legs, we have enough to beat Lyon and go through to the semi-final. However, neutral venue, 90 minutes, anything can happen. We've got experience of this. We've won the Carabao Cup in the Carabao Cup final against Aston Villa, neutral venue. Won that game. We played Arsenal just a few weeks ago in the semi-final of the FA Cup, though, and went out because we just simply didn't adapt quick enough to that game. And if we do that again in this match against Lyon, then we're going to find this very difficult, and I would say that potentially we could go out. And the thing that concerns me most with Lyon is their counter-attack football, which arguably is Manchester City's weakness for this season. So it needs to be a perfect game here from City. We will get opportunities as long as we put them opportunities in the back of the net, and confident that we can go through just like we did against Real Madrid. So yeah, it's going to be difficult. In terms of the team, no Aguero for this match. So again, that's a big blow to Manchester City in my opinion. So I imagine we'll probably go with near enough the same team that went out against Real Madrid. In fact, I'd probably go with that same team. They did the job on Real Madrid. In my opinion, them players deserve to be starting in this quarter-final match against Lyon. We've got the opportunity here of making substitutions, so we can bring players on if things simply aren't working, and we can assess again at little parts of the game. So first 15 minutes, then the last 5 to 10 minutes of the half, assess again at half-time, first 20 minutes of the second half, and then obviously the final push in the last 10-15 minutes of the half. Loads of little stages of the football game that you're always looking at to see where the game potentially is won and lost. And so yeah, it's going to be difficult. Lyon will play a back 3. They're going to be stubborn. They're going to sit deeper, try and hurt City on the counter-attack. Players like Aouar, very crucial in that midfield and winning that ball back. And then, well, basically springing Lyon into action. Manchester City, though, they need to be clinical. And without Sergio Aguero there, it's a big opportunity this for Gabriel Jesus to obviously had a great game in the 2 legs over Real Madrid. Hopefully he can continue to replicate that in the Champions League and get the job done against Lyon. Difficult game this. I think it'll be a very narrow game. I don't think it'll be a high-scoring game. I'm going to go for 2-1 to Manchester City to send us through. That's just my opinion. Love to know your thoughts in the comments below of your score prediction for this game. Now having a look at the other teams. So Atalanta take on Paris Saint-Germain. Everyone's expecting Paris Saint-Germain to go through. Atalanta, what I will say, are a quick side, an attacking side who love scoring goals. And if PSG are not on their game, they're going to find this game very, very difficult. They're a quick side. Like I said, they love scoring goals. Proper banana skin for Paris Saint-Germain. And I'm certain that there will be at least one upset in this quarter-final. City's got a proper banana skin with Lyon. I'm hoping it's not going to be us that falls victim to that, because rest assured Manchester City will be favourites for that game against Lyon, and Lyon will be happy to be the underdogs. It's the same with Atalanta against PSG. They'll be happy to be the underdogs and try and hurt Paris Saint-Germain, and probably try and do that very quickly, probably in the first half. So I'm looking forward to that game. I think that'll be quite an attacking game, a goal-scoring game. So I'm looking forward to watching that game. I will be for each of the quarter-finals, so the Atalanta game against PSG. I'll be doing a live stream on my channel, doing a live watch-along if you want to stay tuned for that. The links will be out on the same day of them games. Then it takes us nicely onto the Atletico Madrid game against Leipzig, which is going to be at Sporting Lisbon's ground, so the same ground that City are playing Olympique Lyonnais at. So we can have a good scout of the pitch, its size, and what condition the pitch is actually in. Leipzig haven't got Timo Werner. He's joined Chelsea, so he's not available now for this game, and that is a big blow for Leipzig, in my opinion. I'm just not sure they've got the quality here to hurt Atletico Madrid, and I can see Atletico Madrid just picking them off, just like they did against Liverpool. Leipzig are an attacking team, so Angelino, we're going to see him again. Looking forward to that, seeing what he can do, putting quality balls into the box and getting into good attacking positions. Problem is, Atletico Madrid defending numbers, attacking numbers, and they've got enough quality to hurt teams on the counter-attack. Seen it all before, and I'm just wondering if Leipzig have got enough quality to hurt Atletico Madrid, and in my opinion, I'm not sure they do, and I'd be surprised if Atletico Madrid don't go through. I imagine that Leipzig would be more than happy to 0-0 this game, really, and take it into extra time. Like I said, one leg, anything can happen. Again, I'll be doing a live stream of that on Thursday evening if you want to stay tuned for that. So the winner of them two games, the PSG against Atalanta and the Atletico Madrid against Leipzig, the winner of them two games will face each other in the semi-final of the Champions League, which will take place next Tuesday. By the way, I forgot to mention that the PSG-Atalanta game will be taking place at Benfica's ground, the Estadio de Luz, the Stadium of Light, and it's the same for the Barcelona-Bayern game on Friday evening. That's going to take place at the Estadio de Luz again. Battle of the two giants, what a game, anything can happen. It's a good scout list for Manchester City should we make it through against Lyon on Saturday evening, so we can have a look at what to expect if we do go through for the semi-final. I imagine Lyon will be scouting that game as well. Barcelona and Bayern Munich going toe-to-toe with each other. You've got the Bundesliga champions, one of the biggest teams in Europe, who thrashed Chelsea in the previous round. Lots of prestige there, playing some really good attacking football, going up against Barcelona. Obviously disappointed not to have won La Liga, but what they do have is one of, if not the best player in the world in Lionel Messi, and what Bayern Munich need to do is continue to do what they've been doing throughout this competition, which is showing no mercy. If they do that, I reckon they will knock out Barcelona, but never ever rule out Barcelona whilst Lionel Messi is in that side. He is one of them players that can just make anything happen out of nothing, and if you give him enough space, he will hurt you every single time. Looking forward to that game. I think it's going to be a really good, entertaining game. Probably be very narrow and very close. You've got two world-class teams going face-to-face with each other, but in my honest opinion, I reckon Bayern Munich will make it through. So if that is the case, then Man City, if we knock out Lyon, will face Bayern Munich in the semi-final, which will take place next Wednesday. I'd rather face Bayern Munich than Barcelona. I think Pep will overthink versus Barcelona. He likes to overthink things. I think he'd be a little bit more straightforward and simple in the match against Bayern, because I think he'll just turn up, fancy his chances with Manchester City having the quality that we have to hurt Bayern Munich and to be able to knock them out. So, personally, whilst Bayern, with the momentum there, may be a more difficult game, I just feel like it'd suit Manchester City's style more than what Barcelona would. But that is just my opinion. Once you get to the semi-final, anything can happen. Once you get to that final, literally anything can happen. I could argue a case that City having it very difficult, obviously in the last 16. Lyon's going to be a difficult game. Semi-final is going to be really, really difficult. I can argue a case that the semi-final match against either Barcelona or Bayern Munich would be more difficult than a final against one of Atalanta or Red Bull Leipzig, Atletico Madrid or Paris Saint-Germain. But, like I said, never rule out Barcelona. Bayern Munich as well. Barcelona knocked out Napoli in the previous round. We're on one leg, so basically every game now is a final. All 8 sides are going to fancy their chances. We've never seen anything like this before. I'm really looking forward to it. So like I said, live streams, they will be out on the day of the game for you to stay tuned for. If you want to come and join me, come and ask me any questions about JSGC's channel. Come and ask me any questions about transfers, about Manchester City, about Champions League, about anything football, whatever you like. Come and join me, feel free. We'll have a really good time, no doubt about that. All 4 quarter-finals being live streamed for a live watch along on my channel if you want to come and join me over on there. And so, there we go. That's been the video. Can Manchester City win the Champions League this season? If we're clinical enough, most certainly is my opinion. Love to know your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget also, leave a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video so I know that you liked the video. Don't forget also, subscribe if you're new around here. Press that red button, press the bell and put your push notifications on. Check out my social media links if you so wish. They're in the description below if you want to go and click on the links in the description. And you can send you straight to my social media pages where you can follow me if you so wish. Or they'll be on the bottom of the screen where you can go and search for me and follow me on my Twitter and Instagram if you so wish. Email also in the description below too. If you want to hit me up for any sponsorships for any videos or any general business inquiries. And yeah, I'll see you all again very soon for the next Manchester City video. We're rolling out daily Manchester City transfer updates if that's what you're interested in. We've got live streams galore coming up as well. I'll see you all again very soon. So I've been JSGC. Hope everyone is safe and well. Thank you for watching. Peace. Ciao for now.